So, an adult, a woman, should I call her a lady? I don't know, took to her social media platform. And the only thing that could come out of her mouth is this thing that you guys are about to watch. And even when I was watching that, I was asking myself a series of questions like, do these people not do research before picking their camera to come say anything they want to say? Or is it that some people, some immigrants, or some Africans, or some Caribbeans, they just decide to always come provoke foundational Black Americans? Because something is missing. Something is missing for someone that you are not competing with, for you to always have business in talking down those people. And you want to sit down there and tell me that I should not make your face go viral? Girl, you will. You will, because you have chosen the wrong path. You have. The first thing I'll always keep telling every single person watching me, before you pick out your camera to do any single thing, try your possible best to do research. You've not understood where Black Americans or the foundational Black Americans are coming from, and that is why you are still confused. But anyways, let's go get the farful that she actually got. Trust Black Americans. They don't come empty-handed, okay? And I want you guys to let me know your honest thoughts in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clip and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you supporting, liking, commenting, and also dropping commentaries. Super thanks. Joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, for educational purposes only, for disclaimers, let's get right into this video. I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch.
Because I understand that Black people be on the forefront of a lot of different movements, and that our movements have paved the way for other groups, marginalized groups, to get rights in America. So I'm understanding where the logic is going, but I'm telling you the logic is flawed. Anytime anything has ever happened in America, we have always been the scapegoats. We have always been the last leg of the line. They are going to find a way to make this about Black people. They're going to find a way to make this touch Black people. They already have. Like, maybe y'all weren't paying attention in class, but in Nazi Germany, did y'all forget that the Gestapo also targeted, sterilized, murdered, and put in concentration camps Black Germans? Like, this idea that this will not affect us and that it's not our fucking fight. Are you cool? Like, what the fuck are you? And mind you, we're not saying that right now that Black people are the most affected group. What we're saying is that a loss of rights for one is a domino effect.
It gets to a point, because what is going on? What the hell is going on? If people would have, this is really what like grinds my gears, is the fact that Black American people have been saying for decades, you all might be next. You all are next. If they're doing it to us, they'll do it to you. And everybody else just said, oh, not my fight. Nobody cares. All lives matter. Just comply. Blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop. Now y'all trying to flip and reverse what we've been saying to you all like a Missy Elliott song and throw it back at us. That's not going to work. Now, this lady in this video, I don't know what her ethnic background is. I have no idea. But I saw her popping it in the comments, y'all. Let me show you what they were saying in the comments, because I cannot. Look at this, y'all. Somebody said, thank you. Solidarity should never be transactional. It shouldn't be transactional, because we supposed to just continue to give and give and give and give and give without receiving anything back. F that. F-U-C-K that. Enough is enough. Why is it that we are, you know what, let me finish and then we're going to come back. Then here to go, the content creator. Yes, please, in a YT versus everyone else system, thinking that you actually have the power to separate yourself from them when they want us all gone and unalived or in jail is crazy. Then somebody said, I stayed home, I voted right. She says, stay home until they start dragging us out of our houses. They just unalive the Black man in his home. Your vote doesn't negate current reality. I voted right too, and here I am. Oh. So you mean to tell me we are supposed to continuously extend ourselves and put ourselves on the front line for people that are literally anti-Black? People that literally express disdain, hatred, and disregard for Black American people. Even other Black people that look just like us in the diaspora don't fuck with us like that. They come here and delineate themselves and build their own little enclaves. They hire each other. And then say, if you're not bilingual or if you don't speak Spanish, you cannot work here. If we not from the same place, if you don't speak the native tongue, the whatever, you cannot work here. I want to hire you. This has been happening. Those are the people that we're supposed to go out and fight for. The same people that I would vote for Donald Trump got their funky asses up there and voted against the interests of their own family and friends. That's who we're supposed to put our neck on the line for. We've done that. And what have we gained from it? Absolutely nothing. We've been preaching and marching and fighting and trying to get qualified immunity terminated, and everybody else has not been on one band, one sound. When immigrants migrated here, if they would have literally aligned themselves with us, then we would literally be like popping out here. But no, they decided to divide themselves, go off into their own corners, and try to directly align themselves with the white community. White people need to be out there protesting and fighting for them. And then she said, a Black man was just unalived at his house. No, that Black man was outside firing off a firearm. This is not me saying that he deserved to be unalive, but he was pow-powing in the air. That doesn't make it okay, but these are the things that has been happening in our community, unfortunately, since the inception of this country. Now, does that mean that because we experience police brutality or any type of brutality, period, that we should align ourselves with illegal immigration? Illegal immigration has nothing to do with Black Americans. There are immigration laws in every single country that you go to. Every single country. I saw a video with a woman that lived in, she was staying in Thailand for a little bit. Her visa expired. You know that the officials was knocking on her door, sending her notices. She had to go and reapply and pay money for however long her visa was expired for, that she was still in that country. She had to go and do what she had to do. In Mexico, they are kicking people and deporting people up out of there. They have immigration laws in the DR and Haiti. Haiti and the DR share the same island, and Haitians is getting kicked out of the DR if they don't have their right paperwork. So I don't understand, why does it come to the United States of America and then to try to compare it to Nazi Germany? There's no G side going on here. What y'all would tell us, just comply. If y'all would just comply and take the right steps, nobody's saying that we're completely against immigration, but illegal immigration, if something's illegal, that means you're breaking the law. Why should we be outside picketing for? That does not make sense, especially when a lot of these people don't even like us. If Johnny had 5 apples, why are you all encouraging us? Y'all already know the history and the type of relationship we have with the government officials and the authority in this country. Why would you ever encourage Black Americans to go out there for something that does not directly affect them? And y'all keep saying they're going to come for your next. They've been deporting people since forever. If we could get deported in mass, the way that these people have been trying to unalive us, redline us, burn everything down that we create, paper genocide us, we would have been deported. If they could get us the fuck up out of here, all of us would have been deported. This new president is the only president that ever got up on a stage in front of millions of people and said, Black Americans built this country. Y'all don't get the credit for it, but you all built this country. He also got up there and said that 14th Amendment was for descendants of people that were slaves in this country. We are American citizens. I don't know why y'all keep trying to scare us with deportation and we don't go out there and fight for people to be here illegally. Get your paperwork together. The same you would have to do. I cannot go to Japan and live in Japan and get money and get grants and loans and be a part of the government and the system without being a citizen. They would kick me out too. In other countries, they lock you up for a long time. At least here, they even trying to give incentives. Like, hey, we give you a couple $1,000s, give you a plane ticket. In other countries, you got to swim across the water. You got to find your way and scavenge to get back to where you got to go. And they ain't not giving you no severance package. Anyway, spread love is the Brooklyn way. I know this is long, child, but...
Did you hear about the illegal aliens that got deported out of that apartment building in Chicago? Yeah, I did. That was crazy. It made me really feel upset for black people because they could really be next.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like, if black people don't stand up for the illegal aliens, I mean, they could truly just be next because, I mean, what's going to stop ICE from just deporting black people?
They're citizens. That's what stops ICE from deporting them. They're citizens.
No, it's discrimination what they're doing against those people. It's racist. ICE is literally like the Nazis. Like, like I can't say it, but it's like the same. Like we have to stand up for those people. Like I'm gonna go protest ICE at Broadview.
Why would you get involved in that? Like, have you seen that they're actually deporting like people who are a part of like really violent gangs? Like these people are committing like assaults, like sexual assaults.
No, that's like racial profiling, and they're making up a lot of that stuff. Like they're literally kidnapping these people. They're kidnapping them.
None of that makes sense. Like the people actually have documented records. They've been arrested, and they have actually committed really violent crimes. And the people at that apartment building actually have been asking Chicago to intervene for I think a year, and nothing happened. Their building has been literally destroyed, and ICE only came in to get the Venezuelan people that were there and should not be there. And then they released everybody who was not a part of their operation.
Yeah, I still don't agree. The mayor said that we need to really be pushing back against ICE. So I'm going to follow the mayor.
I think you should spend some time understanding jurisdiction and also understanding what ICE is here to do, and really deeply connect with the fact that black people could never be deported from America, because the people you're talking about are actually citizens. Black people are citizens. So it kind of almost sounds a little bit racist for you to assume that just because somebody is black that they could be eligible to be removed from this country. Have you felt like you should be removed from this country?
This girl got on the internet and said, black people, if you don't stand up now, it may be us today, but it'll be you next. Next? The American economy is currently destroyed because Caucasians literally tried to find every way to block black people from being successful, even though it would hurt themselves. I guess skinning black people and then wearing their face as mask was never a thing. Next? I guess stuffing the bodies of black people and posting them up by their doorstep was not a thing. Next, we didn't even want to have our children near Caucasians because of fear of death and or kidnapping. Next, baby, we were first. You don't see black people galvanized because we literally lit a bonfire and we literally said, hey, let's go, gotta get on the boat. And y'all stayed on Delulu Island. Y'all thought y'all proximity to whiteness, y'all thought because your pigment was a little bit lighter that, hey, they're just going to look over us and go back to those black folks. And for the simple fact that you said next shows exactly y'all don't know shit about black people. And even though we are first to do everything in this country, our oppression came first as well. Black people are the only people that stood right for everybody in this election. And y'all sat there and played stupid.
I need some answers. Why do Americans always say they live in the greatest country in the world? It's just like, how? How did you come to this conclusion? Like, from what I've seen, a lot of Americans haven't even left the country. So how are you coming to this conclusion? Also, like, if it's the greatest country in the world, surely you should have your own language. The most common language spoken is English. And then the second is Spanish. So how are you the greatest country in the world? You don't even have your own language. Like, make it make sense.
What is the significance of this language thing? Because I noticed that a lot of Africans will bring up language, especially like even in my comment sections, like they'll talk about, oh, you don't have no language, you're no, like, why is that so significant? Why is that so important? I mean, we speak English, but it's like a lot of people speak English and it makes it easier to like do business and makes it easier to communicate across borders. If we were speaking some unique language that nobody knew, it would be a lot harder to communicate. So I'm really not seeing the importance of it. I don't really see why that's even relevant at all. And it's a lot of people who rep their shit and rep their country and be like, hey, we the best, whether if it's true or not. But I'm gonna just say this. I mean, why wouldn't we think that our country is the greatest? It's not perfect. We didn't say it was perfect because we got flaws just like everybody else got flaws. It ain't never gonna be perfect. But at the end of the day, it's a really great option, a place to live. It's things that we need to fix. But there's a lot of comforts here. There's a lot of things. And it's a big, massive ass country with all different types of landscapes, all different types of things that you can do and experience, and all different types of opportunities. So it's like, so what if we want to say our shit is the greatest? Why does that make you mad? Like, what you mad for, boo-boo?
Y'all know what I find strange, like, for real. We over here in another continent, okay, as Black Americans. We've been on this land for a long time, family. A long time. Okay. You know, the fact that people actually think we Africans, like, and I get it. It's in the name. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Democrats knew what their plan was long time ago. Okay, we finna have some people immigrate here. We gotta have their ass blend in with these blacks that's already here. Great game plan. Okay, great game plan. But I mean, like, mentally, you know, culturally, like this, like, we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just baffles me how third world Africa really is, and how sometimes how these people are really uneducated, you know what I mean, about us, and who, you know, like, they really don't know nothing about us. Okay, family, like, these people don't know shit about Black Americans besides us fighting for civil rights and stuff. They don't know nothing. They really don't know the history of this country. And that's why I was like, you know what, when I think about it, it's like, that's why I really don't want to get into it like I used to on this page. You know what I mean? Even though I still get into it, but it's like, these people do, you know, like, family, they don't have the education that we have. You know what I mean? And arguing with them is kind of asinine a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Because they are so uneducated about us. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of their arguments come from jealousy and hate and vitriol, or, you know what I mean? That's you know, and what they see online. You know what I mean? Everything that they argue about is just from what they see on TV. They don't know shit. You know, it's like, we can say whatever. You know what I mean? We can say whatever we want, that we ain't African American. They don't shit. That's all they ever heard. That's all they ever knew. You get what I'm saying? Like, and us saying something that's estranged from that, these people are like, fuck do you mean? You are African. That's all I ever see. That's all I ever know. And so I kind of get it. You know what I mean? Like, our history, our true history, it's never been taught. It's never, only we know our true history. You know what I'm saying? These people coming from foreign lands, they don't know shit but what they saw on their television. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, but still, when they go to talking shit, you know what I'm saying, you just be like, shit, well, fuck it, I'm getting the ass. You know what I'm saying? But really, man, there's no point. You know what I'm saying? These people education is like, fucking, you know what I'm saying? We ain't getting nowhere. I'm just saying, you gotta really think about that shit. This shit is pointless when you come with these type of minds. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Unless you're Native American or you're Mexican, you and all of your family are immigrants on American land. Plain and simple. And that's a fact, no matter what you try to say. Or
Slaves weren't immigrants. Slaves weren't immigrants. Slaves were not immigrants. I completely understand what you're trying to say. But Black Americans are not immigrants. Enslaved people were not immigrants. The terms are fundamentally different, both in definition and historical context. Immigrants are individuals who voluntarily chose to leave their home country to take up permanent residence in another, seeking new opportunities or fleeing difficult situations by their own agency. Slaves were human beings who were forcefully kidnapped, transported against their will, and treated as legal property, chattel, of another person. They were denied all human rights, autonomy, and were forced into a lifetime of brutal servitude with no possibility of leaving or returning to their homes. The transatlantic slave trade was a system of forced migration and human trafficking, not immigration. And if you want to argue, I'll hear you out. as soon as you can name another group of immigrants that came to this country on the bottom of a fucking slave ship.
Black people, after they done with the Latinos, you next. Huh? Next. We been on the chopping block. Like, you can tell that we all been living in separate Americas. Separate Americas, because why does everybody keep saying black people, you next? They've been on our heels for 400 plus years. Black people, you next. You know what? Can you imagine being in a relationship with the biggest narcissist in history? The biggest, right? Every time you go to school, he undermines you. When you buy a house, he undermines you. When you get healthcare, he undermines you. God damn, when you can't go to the gym, you can't go to parks, you can't go to the goddamn beach, you can't get healthcare, you can't get childcare, you can't do shit. You can't cook chicken, you can't eat fruit, you can't do nothing. Every angle that you live in life has been targeted. Understand that black people will always fight for Latinos. Our struggle is intertwined. Like, understand this. But we don't gotta worry about being next, because we have been their fixation for hundreds of years. We still are. And you know what's the most heartbreaking thing about this whole thing is that Mexican people in black history, American history, have been some of the only people to show up. They were the biggest part of black liberation. And always and forever, I will always give Mexican people that respect. But since then, Latino people have been falling so far into white supremacy that is sick. You have been showing colorist behavior to your own people. You have been showing colorist behavior all in the hopes of having white proximity. All the anti-black jokes that you hear growing up, you're talking about your own people. Just because you say Prieto, Moreno, or Negro, don't make it no different. All those sayings, bettering the race, cleaning the blood, washing out the black. This is a part of a Latin culture, and it's sad, and it needs to stop. You want to know what's the first step of liberation? Stop that shit. Stop trying to have proximity to whiteness. You're not them. And if you want to know the results of this, just ask the question of what happened to all the black people in Argentina. There were a lot more. And yeah, you may have a sprinkle of Spaniard, but you ain't that. And I'm sorry to tell you, there's a reason why you have an indigenous or African nose and kinky hair.
I think we're entering the darkest hour for Black America ever. I do think that what we're about to enter is going to be worse than slavery. And the big reason for that is because people aren't even aware of how unfree they are at this point in time. We are actually all more fucked than Assata Shakur. Like, all of us. And like I said, I've been on a watch list since I was 13. I'm not going to go into why that is, but I've been on a domestic terrorist watch list since I was a child. Assata Shakur was also was labeled a domestic terrorist, and Trump just signed an executive order to basically label all of us on this app as domestic terrorists. But what's even worse is that right now we actually have less organization, less movement, less capacity, less commitment than at any point in American history. Because people think, well, as long as I get money, I'll be fine. They're gonna run up in your fucking job, sis. They're coming in your job to snatch you. And I don't talk about this a lot, because being a Black woman with foresight, much in the same vein as Octavia Butler, I've been telling y'all this since 2020. Like 2019, I was like, oh, pattern recognized. Handmaid's Tale is actually not as bad as it's going to be. Because Handmaid's Tale is actually just what it's going to be for, like, wealthy white women. Do you guys realize the rest of us are going to them camps? And the craziest thing is y'all are like, they're not going to get me, they're not going to get me. They're going to get you. You don't even know how to survive in the woods. How the fuck do you think Assata got to Cuba? Like, how do you think she physically moved her body to Cuba? How do you, like, you don't have not a singular survival skill. You're not a part of a single organization. You don't have no friends. You are a worker drone. You're a worker drone in a country that has decided that you are a domestic terrorist. You can't put your head down any further and avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother's eye. His eye is on us all, you guys. And it's frustrating. Here's what I'm going to say. I've been feeling called to leave social media. I no longer see any value that this app has, and I encourage all of you to leave social media and go outside. That, I think social media is actually hindering us from movement building, from actual organizing. It is taking too much of our time. It is distracting us. It is distracting because even organizers think they need to be on social media to reach people. No, that is not what the purpose of this app is. And it's not going to work in that sense. I think all of us need to wake up. It's time to snap back to reality. And get serious. Because once you tip the scale, which has been tipped, but once you tip the scale from, if I do everything right, if I assume a submissive position, if I do not resist, and if I go along to get along, I will still be captured by the state, you now have no choice but you have to now resist. I'm not going to say too much, but that is where we are. Or be content to die in the camp. Those are the only two options. And I think it's really hard for humans to process long-term situation, reality. But if you're not leaving the country, if you don't have at least $75,000 in cash right now, you cannot get out this motherfucker. I'm telling you right now, you're stuck here with us. And yeah, if you don't have the money to leave, you're stuck here. You're gonna get either captured or you're gonna that's it. That's it. Because none of us they have a record. They know who is a Nazi and who's not. And most of you are not Nazis. So you're gonna end up in the camp. And this is a country that has no problem committing G-sides. I need y'all to wake up. We are at the point where all of us must either commit revolutionary suicide or prepare to go the way of that young woman in V for Vendetta. I'm giving you as much game as I can give you. Okay? That's it, that's all. That's it. There's quite literally only two options. And I need y'all to choose. I need you to make a choice. Today. Today's the day. If you were looking for the day of, oh my God, are we going to do it or not? It's today. Today's the day.
Anyways, welcome back, guys. I know we've literally been saying this, but we'll continue to say this to the hearing of other people that has literally not been hearing us before. So the question is, can Black Americans be deported? I just need a short and quick answer. And the short answer is no. A U.S. citizen cannot be legally deported from the United States because the vast majority of Black Americans are U.S. citizens. Either by birth or through naturalization, they have a constitutional right to remain in the country. Under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, anyone born on the U.S. soil is a citizen. This protection ensure that the government cannot deport its own people, as deportation is a process specifically reserved for non-citizens, such as those on visa or green card, who has violated immigration law. Here is the breakdown. Birthright citizen. If a person is born in the US, they are citizens for life. The government do not have the legal authority to strip a native-born citizen of their status or deport them, regardless of their race or any crime they committed. Criminal acts by citizens are handled through the US justice system, prison fines, etc., not through immigration removal. Naturalization citizen. For Black Americans who were born in other countries and become citizens later, they have the same protection as native born Americans. However, there is no very rare exception denaturalization. This can only happen if the government prove in the courts of law that the person committed fraud to their citizens. For example, lying about a serious crime, past, or using a fake identity. Only after citizenship is revoked can a person be subjected to deportation. Black immigrants, non-citizen. It is important to distinguish between Black American citizens and Black immigrants who are not yet citizens. Green card holders can be deported if they commit certain deportation offenses such as aggravated felonies or criminal crimes of moral turpitude. Visa holders slash undocumented individuals can be deported for violating the terms of their stay, for being in the country without legal authority. Historical contents. Why the law today is clear, this was a major battle in American history. The Supreme Court once wrongly ruled the Black Americans could not be citizens. The 14th Amendment in 1868. This was specifically added to the Constitution after the Civil War to overturn the ruling and guarantee that all Black people born in the US were full citizens with protected rights. In summary, Black Americans, indigenous Black Americans, cannot be deported. Ugh. How else do you guys want us to explain it? How else do you guys want us to tell you that they cannot be deported? Can you rest? Can you rest? Can you let Black Americans to breathe? Can you let them do their thing and just go your way? If you think you're tired, you don't want to see their face, you're frustrated by their presence. In fact, their presence is making you to look down on yourself. Move. Black Americans cannot be deported. So stop calling them into battles like, oh, since you people are not putting mouth in what is happening with other people, it will soon get to your turn. How? Can I be deported from Nigeria? No. Where are they going to deport me to? Ask yourself that question. As a full-blooded Nigerian, where are they going to deport me to? Where are they going to deport me to? As someone from South Africa, born and bred in South, can you be deported? No. Talk more of people that were enslaved out of their mind. People that were not ready. People that were stripped of their identity. People that became the foundational Black American. People that were there. If you guys don't know, they were there before all of this thing come in and strip off a lot of history, wipe off a lot of things, and you still have the mind, the audacity, the effrontery, the temerity. Oh God, I'm so angry when I want to speak grammar. So stop saying that Black Americans will or can be deported. They can't deport them. Even President Donald Trump knows that he cannot deport them. But anyways, let me know what you think. Credits belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And this is just for educational purposes, not to come here and ruffles on anyone's shoulder. And yes, thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments. And lastly, do not forget to share. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Black Americans cannot be deported.